Everyone got off at the port except me. I'm writing this on a bus, coming home early from a frustrated trip. I can't stop thinking about what happened, and I feel like I need to share it with someone else. This year, a few friends and I decided to take a vacation together and go on a beach trip, planning to stay for about a week. We arranged for everyone to take time off at the same time and rented a house on the coast of a neighboring state. At first, everything went smoothly. I took the bus around 9 p.m., and knowing that the trip would take around 3 hours, I put on my headphones, reclined the seat, and enjoyed the view. We agreed to meet at the town's port. At a certain point in the journey, the bus stopped and the driver informed us he'd be making a brief stop in a town near our final destination. I went to a restaurant, grabbed some coffee and a sandwich, which I barely had time to finish before the bus started moving again. I was dozing off when I felt the bus stop. The driver turned off the engine, the lights came on, and the passengers began to get off. I quickly looked out the window to check that I was in the right place, and after seeing some containers, I got off too. That's when things started to get weird. As soon as I stepped out, I noticed there were no other passengers around, which felt odd, since it had been barely 20 seconds since everyone had disembarked. The place I was standing in was just part of the road. It didn't even look like a bus stop, much less the port and bus station that my friends had mentioned earlier. The only sign of life nearby was a gate with a guard booth, and inside, a collection of containers and cranes that looked like a shipping company. When I tried to get back on the bus, to ask the driver if I hadn't gotten off at the wrong stop, he had already left. I looked at my phone, paused the music, and checked the time. Midnight sharp. I called one of my friends to let them know I had arrived, hoping that this was the right place. No answer. I only managed to send a quick message. I think I'm at the port, before my battery died. Apparently, listening to music for 3 hours straight was just too much for my old phone. With no idea what else to do, I approached the guard booth to ask for information. Inside was a woman, who smiled when she saw me approaching. I asked her if I was in the right place and explained a little bit of the situation. Ah, the port? Oh, no, you're far away, about 5 miles, I believe, my dear. She replied with a big smile and a voice a little strange. I can't explain it, but the woman seemed off. Her skin looked different, in a way that I couldn't tell whether she was 26 or 62, and her voice didn't sound natural. At the time, I didn't pay much attention to any of this, but in retrospect, it seemed as if she wasn't human, but something trying to be human. But if you want, you can go through here. James and I will take you to the port. Everything will be fine, she said while gesturing to a colleague who was near the gate. I hadn't noticed the colleague before. In fact, it is as if he appeared out of nowhere as soon as she called him. He came towards me with the same huge smile and strange skin. For some reason, that gave me chills. Those two looking at me, piercing me with their eyes, and with that sinister smile, almost drooling, as if I were a dish from a five-star restaurant. Something told me not to wait for this James guy to approach, so I walked away, muttering a goodbye. I couldn't see much ahead, just the road and the silhouette of vegetation on both sides of the asphalt. There were no streetlights except one in front of the company, and likely none for the next 5 miles. I started walking, but I soon realized that it would be a long trek, so I raised my thumb in hope that someone passing by would give me a ride. And it didn't take long for a truck driver to pull up next to me. I got close to his window, and to my surprise he didn't look right either. He was an older man, or at least I think it was because of his white hair, but he had the same strange skin as the woman and James I just met. He invited me into the truck, saying he would take me to the port in no time. Strange, because I hadn't even told him where I wanted to go. Come on, kid. I'll take you there. You won't even notice. You can sleep if you're tired. Everything will be fine, the old man insisted. He spoke in the same strange, weirdly broken way as the other two. The chill I had felt before now intensified, and it went up my spine like an electric shock. I didn't even bother to say something to the truck driver. I just moved on, quickening my pace. He just stood there. From then on, I started to walk faster. I had a weird feeling, as if things weren't right, and what scared me the most, that something was watching me,